Hey guys, Court here, Digging History 76. Off on a new adventure today. Beautiful winter day, probably gonna get close to 50 today. And for this time of year, I will take that. I'm at a basically new permission. I just got permission to come back here. Jeff and Zach and I had been here once before. It's an old farm. And right about where this mound is in front of me, about here, was a home. And that home was here in the 1850s, probably before that. And during our one trip here, we did find a couple things. I think I found like a large tent. I think it was matron. There was a lot of trash, a lot of aluminum. I remember the day being very frustrating. I think it was also really hot that day and the ground was probably hard, but I'm walking right past that site, as you can see. I'm going to another site, and I'll explain to you in a minute why. Man, it is nice out here, huh? Well, here's why I walked past an antebellum home site and decided to walk way out here in the middle of the woods. Through the trees here, that field, that's the Drake bus field. And the Drake bus and the cap bus and God knows how many buttons were all found down in this corner right here. Pretty close. Over there is the Riel field. And at least 6 Riels plus a ton of other stuff have been found along that tree line fairly close to us. This field belongs to a different farmer. This is one I just got permission for to come back to. And I am flying solo on a scouting mission to check out this meadow. There'll be some tough places here because of the tall grass. But I suspect I should be able to have a decent time of it today. I'm alone. Zach is off doing his own recon, heading north pretty far away from us to try and find a very historic property for us to detect. I think Jeff is doing family things. I think Justin is around, but doesn't have much time. I'm not sure he could be here today. And Chad's doing like goat yoga or something. So I'll tell you what I find as soon as I find it. I've done one pass through here with my detector, just kind of wandering aimlessly about to try and find, maybe some iron concentrations or thing like that. I'll let you know what I've got. So it's hard to see on cell phone footage, but there's a rise that comes down the middle of the Drake bus field, and it kind of continues here. And I spent some time up in this area looking for iron concentrations. Didn't really find anything. I do have some stone, and it looks like probably some field stones that were tossed out. My guess is tossed out by a farmer to get them out of the way. Some buckets out here. Fairly quiet though, but it's a nice little flat plateau. There's a creek off to my left, and then over towards the Riel field, between this field and the Riel field, there's a creek also, the same one that separates the Drake bus field and the cap field. So, not seeing any signs of life yet, at least on the surface. So I'm gonna pull out the detector and see what I can find under the ground. Alrighty, first hole only a few inches deep. Solid 87 cent, too good to be true. Because it is too good to be true. I'm going to go with beer can. I remember this farm having a lot of these last time, so I'm a little worried we're going to have more of the same, but I won't know until I know. I've seen a few. Alrighty, hole 2, not too far from hole 1, solid 86. And we are off to a very disappointing start. I'm going to see if I can maybe work away from this little hilltop and maybe get into the corner of the property and work my way back. Try and get away from the trash. Alrighty, hole 3. Reading a 71 beaver tail. So we have new trash and old trash. At least, 70s, 80s old. Alrighty, hole number, I think 4 or 5, whichever one I'm at. solid 71 again. We have a rifle round. Huh. Where that came from. It's a mystery. Solid 89, 2 inches down. I am really starting to doubt my decision. This was a good idea. Alright, I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep looking. Well, the lower field down there, where I've dug some trash, I've noticed that all the tall grass has been pushed over. It's all kind of generally facing the right direction, and I'm interpreting that as a sign of maybe floodwater. Maybe the banks of these creeks around here are broken during the big storms and have washed everything over and made it flat, which probably explains some of the trash I'm finding. So I came up to the high ground up here where the buckets are. 60 something, I think 67 on the dais too. Still not treasure, but certainly at least we're heading in the right direction as far as time goes. So pretty quiet on this little plateau. I'm going to run back and forth a few times, and if this does not pan out, I think I'm just going to call it a day, but at least my curiosity's been satisfied. So maybe I'll see you again. Alrighty, hole number, who knows, 73, a little bit different this time, but different signal, same result, another beaver tail. I am really kind of shocked. I'm not finding anything old yet, or even really hearing a lot of signals back here. It's a great little spot, but it just, just because I like it doesn't mean somebody else used to like it and spend time back here. So I'm gonna poke around a little bit more. I'm gonna start working my way back towards the truck. I might piddle around the one home site I know that was here, but I remember last time I was here, it was horrible. I think before the house had gone down, they had used it for kind of like a trash pit, and that didn't make it very fun. So yeah, I'll keep poking a little bit more, but I think this is going to be a bust. Well, I've made my way out to the antebellum field where the 1840, 1850 home used to stand. It's right behind me. I've dug a couple more pieces of trash, continuing my streak. I was about to give up on the day. My truck is only about 150 feet away. It looked pretty tempting, but I thought I'd dig a little more, and I finally have a relic after all that. And I'd say we definitely have a drawer pull, and it more than certainly is period. Copper alloy of some sort. I mean, it really does make sense for me to stay here, at least for a little bit more. The weather's decent. Directly behind me is more pasture. I can't get into that because they do have animals. And then the field directly behind it is the silver field, which, if you watch some of our videos, we've had quite a bit of luck over there. A lot of silver coins, all the way from Spanish to seeded. And our theory has been that there may have been a home site up there. But our theory also could be that just people traveling from the road, which is behind me, down to visit people that lived in this house, were dropping things, including silver coins. So I think it's worth looking to see if they dropped any around here. I'll be back. Well, even though I don't have my mount yet, I thought I'd share this fun with you. Just dug this plug out by the old home site. It was a solid 81. Treasure is still in the hole, but I noticed when I flipped it out, I've got some pottery here. I say, based on the shape, it's a bowl. Maybe a bottom of a cup, huh? I mean, it looks old, doesn't it? Oh, we know it's old. We know the place is old. This ground, even though we haven't had rain a little bit, this ground is still really wet. Whatever I dug is at 80 is right here. And I haven't gotten my harness yet. So you get to suffer through me as we do this together. And we have a couple signals, I think. All right, let's see. What are you? Dirt. I tell you. Oh no, there it is. I think I have a little flat button, maybe. No, I don't. I have a washer. Oh my God, this place. All right, I'm gonna stay with it for a little bit more. Alrighty, on the dais too, this one rang a solid 80, screaming loud, probably about 4 inches down. In the hole I've got pottery. You see I've got some remnants of brick. And then this stone here, which might be natural or maybe it's been worked, I'm not sure. Anyway, I dug this out. Heavy. Some sort of accoutrement. Really wet soil down here, it's tough. It's a decoration of some sort. Maybe to an appliance or something. Yeah, let me brush this up, I'll be right back. Well, I can't brush it because I left my brush at home. I'd taken it inside to clean off those buttons I found at the drape bus field. So I just kind of wiped it off as best I could. Mud's sticking to it well. I want to say the design there, this almost reminds me of like a log. And then something's going on here on the side, nothing on the back. It's pretty crude, whatever it is. But you know, it's interesting. It's better than what I've found so far. So I'll clean it up at home. If there's anything really cool, I'll show you. But I guess finding this buys me a few more minutes here. I'll see you on the next one. Ah, there it is. That's a plug. 8889. Dug it, flipped it, 90. Now I want to believe, guys. I want to believe. Just over there, 200-some-year-old silvers. Almost 300-year-old silver. Behind me, 200, 300-year-old silver. What are you? It sounded small. Uh-oh. Well, I'm beginning to get worried because it's not as deep as I thought it was. It does mean it's small though, but really close to the surface. Wow, it is tiny, I think. Oh boy, that's in the roots. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna find it, I'll bring it out, I'll show it if it's any good. Alright, well, I'm making the long drive of shame back home. My adventure today didn't really yield much anything other than a lot of trash and a couple little artifacts. My feet are soaked because I thought wearing hay-doos was a great idea and the fields are muddy and I had to cross a creek and I'm cranky and hungry and tired. Good news is Zach got a permission, so hopefully he finds something at his spot. But I am tucking tail and running. I'll see you on the next one.